matchup between the Houston Texans and the Los Angeles Chargers. It's 3-0 versus 2-1, a good early season battle as we're underway in Week 4. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. They'll run. This is Melvin Gordon. Good footwork at the 30. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Now Allen throwing on second down. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Jadeveon Clowney. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8.
Gone! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky.
From the gun, it's Allen. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's going to get the first down as he covers up after a pretty good shot there. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Detroit!
Throwing on first down is Allen. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And what a return as he brings this all the way back down to the 20-yard line. Last week, somehow they won. He threw all those picks, but they still won. Here, opening drive, unfortunately, he picked up where he left off.
Partner, you get a lot of extra patience when you find a way to win despite you making mistakes. But starting out again this game, that patience got wear thin really quick, and I think the guys on the defensive side of the ball were the first ones.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Desmond King picks it, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
And a short pickup here as he'll get across the 10 to the 11-yard line. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
A boost here to start the drive. After the penalty, it's 1st and 5. And now he'll tuck it and run. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. He has enough for the first down on the keeper, a gain of 6.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit!
Allen now on first down. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity.
Trimmed by Patterson. And the 18-yard line. 3. And now it's 3rd down. So it's to a tough 3rd down call. And long defense with no fear they brought back.
The guys are going to cover, but the biggest one is they think their pressure.
That's taken it around the 40. Good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Texans with great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. And it's now. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you. A huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Griffin's got it, middle of the field. And he's taken down. Goes for a gain of 31.
If the post pattern is often equated as a change-up route, how about when you throw it to your big guy down the center of the field? Covered or not, you have great confidence he's going to come down with the football. And when he does, as we just saw, long.
And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Joey Bosa in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year. On second down, here's Watson. Buying time to his left. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Desmond King picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Detroit! Detroit! Gone! 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 Gone!
So after the INT, it's Allen going for the deep ball. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's second down. After the incomplete pass, here now is second and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone! Gone! Gone!
Allen throwing again. And this is caught. First catch for Keenan Allen. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. Allen's first catch. Good for a first down.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
On second down, they'll run with Gordon. And the window closes quickly. He'll only get up to the 22-yard line. 1 yard officially on the pickup, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 11.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone, gone. Gone, gone.
Allen now looks to throw. And this one hauled in by Tavon Austin. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. A big play there on the catch and run. 57 yards. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone.
Hurry up, here we go.
Now Gordon on 1st down. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Back now to begin the second quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's the Chargers here with a football. They're in the midst of a nice drive, but facing a 3rd and long here.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit! Detroit!
Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. And he's got his man. It's Henry for a Chargers touchdown. Hunter Henry. His second touchdown on the season. And the Chargers are able to strike for 6. No, he missed the PAT. No good on the extra point, so a letdown there. And this will stay a 6-point ball game. Sturgis out now to kick this one off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
To throw is Watson. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position. Couldn't hold on. 3rd down.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls when you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number 1. Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up 4th. So the ref takes a peek here, wants to see if the receiver had possession and both feet inbounds.
If this were a college game, this would be a legal catch. It's the 2nd foot that they're looking at to make sure it gets down. You have to have 2 inbounds in the NFL.
So on 4th down, here's Marquette King to punt it away. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. Chargers in good field position to start out, 1st and 10.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
To throw, it's Allen. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on 2nd down.
A pretty rocky start in this game for the guy throwing the ball. Already has thrown 1 interception. Almost threw a 2nd one right there. All he's doing right now is giving the defense a whole lot of confidence.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Gone, 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 gone.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Allen. He'll let it fly for Austin. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
The Chargers on 3rd down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
Gone, gone.
So the shotgun snap to Allen. And he's got a man open. That's Allen. And he'll be down deep into Houston territory. So with the pass being completed, they'll go ahead and take that instead.
Nothing extra to be gained. Pass interference at the spot, completed the pass. That was your play, so you might as well have not even had the penalty.
On 1st down, Allen. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. A good convergence there defensively, only a yard, and it's 2nd down. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Allen off the play fake, over the middle, and it's incomplete. The intended receiver, Tavon Austin, and that'll make it 3rd down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete.
3-19.
Throwing is Allen on 3rd. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. This defense had 3 interceptions last week. They're on pace for more than that here, 2 in the first half.
Do not adjust your set. This is not instant replay. This is a defense that is locked in. They're essentially running the routes for the receivers and turning into the receivers themselves, aren't they? I mean, it is amazing what I'm seeing because the reactions of those guys back on the back 7, phenomenal.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
And this one complete to Will Fuller. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. Trying to find some space to operate, and now they'll have it. A gain of 12, a big first down to get away from the end zone. Here's Watson, escaping the pressure right. On the crossing route, complete. It's Fuller. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down at will. Now it's Watson. And he finds a man on the crossing route. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
Come back.
To the air yet again, Watson. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Richmond.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And the defense loses him. It's complete. Touchdown, Houston. A big play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Texans are an extra point away from taking the lead.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. Oh, look at that.
Oh, look at him turn.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I remember
going for the age. Right?
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well.
Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. And that is Allen still down following the play. Appears to be shaken up. They'll step aside and come back to Carson after this. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line.
Come back. Richmond.
After the interception, here's Watson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down. Well, the passing game right now for them, not overly impressive. Last week he hit on right at 50%. This week he's under 50%.
And it's not just on him. Protection, a few breakdowns along the way. That's made him get off the spot. Receivers not getting their way open downfield. The coverage has been awfully tight. They've got to all get together and find ways to make this passing game get in gear.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
10 more there and another first down. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, and tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And this play goes nowhere, losing yardage back to the 15. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. On second down, it's Jones. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down. Two minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Southern California after this. 2 running plays go backwards, so what's the call on 3rd and 13 now? Now they try the right side here, and they'll lose yardage here, knocked back to the 19-yard line. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points. Able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
And he'll get this just up past the 20, but a marker is down. Let's get the call.
Detroit! Leopard! Gone!
First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. Flushed out right. And he's going to be taken down. Sacked back at the 2. Bernardrick McKinney. In from his linebacker spot. He's able to drop him for a loss of about 10. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Gone!
In his own end zone, it's Allen. He's going to wind up. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. A give to Jones. Ooh, the juke. Space to run past the 20. Touchdown, Houston. Ronald Jones with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Texans will extend their lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. And the Chargers coming out on the field now. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned they're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Allen again here on 2nd and 10. Going up top. It's caught inside the 25. A big play there just before halftime. 56 yards. First down now, but that clock rolling.
Detroit!
Operating from the red zone now. Allen, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. From the gun, it's Allen. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Justin Reed. And they'll have the football, but deep in their own territory as he's brought down at the 5. A little over 20 seconds remaining in the half as they'll line up here 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he'll find a little space. He gets us up near the 10. Tackle made there by the safety, Derwin James. Here's Watson now on 2nd down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they take this up near the 30 before he's taken down. So we have reached halftime here. It's the visitors, the Texans, out in front. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. A nice little juke. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. It didn't happen on that play.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
On 3rd down, that's Bennett. He's got the first down and more past midfield. Past the 20. Touchdown, Houston. A great effort there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Texans will add on to their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Now we'll look at the Chargers offense. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things work well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's Allen on 1st and 10. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 48. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run it until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool him on that play.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
Doesn't take any great analysis on my part. It's been pretty obvious. Last couple of plays, these guys have been going in the wrong direction.
Offensive line overwhelmed on those plays. Now, I think it's safe to say going to the air here on third. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan first down.
And there was absolutely zero pressure on the quarterback on that play. Third down, and he has all the time in the world to eventually find an open receiver for a first down pickup.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Again, it's Jones, and he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. He needed 3, he got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. A great play there. With 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Texans will extend their lead. And the lead will grow by 1 more. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now
he's by himself. Keenan Allen. He's at the 30, the 20. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Keenan Allen, 82 yards. And the Chargers, they're able to cut into that deficit.
Partner, you know the real key is to stopping a good passing attack?
You tell me.
Being able to tackle as soon as a guy catches the football.
Didn't work out there.
No, because when you give up the big run after catch, the rack yardage, that puts your defense in a big-time stressful position.
A lot of rack yardage and a touchdown there on the big play. Sturgis out now to kick this one off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
Now we always talk about getting into the zone and all clicks, and they are on point right now.
They'll go again to Jones, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Down.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a direction after a play like that.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
He's got to be kicking himself right there. His team's already picked off 2 passes. That would have been the 3rd in the game. And, boy, they've really played well attacking the football.
And just shutting him off there. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Throwing on first down is Allen. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now the handoff comes to Gordon. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Gone, 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 gone.
On 3rd and long, it's Allen. He's going to air one out. And now here is another interception. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. Gets around him. 31 yards there and a 1st down.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw down that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Now Watson going deep for Hopkins. That's going to be caught. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Texans turn that interception into a touchdown. Back now at the StubHub Center in Carson. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Charger offense making their way back out there. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Now a handoff. This is Gordon. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. To throw on 3rd down. Allen. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Now Allen, gotta have this one. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. The 4th down play doesn't work for the Chargers. And the Texans take over an excellent field position. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
No, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL, in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from their first one and blew out the Seahawks.
Now a handoff working right. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. The tackle will be credited to Jake Ryan. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Here's Watson. Eluding the pressure right. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's fourth down. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Now they try the right side here. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. It's first and goal after they rip off a solid chunk of yardage in the ground game on a risky fourth down call. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. No dice this go around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Now Watson on third and goal. And that one's going to be over everybody in the back of the end zone. It's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Here we go on fourth. Watson, flush to his right. And this is going to be incomplete. They can't hook up here on the fourth down pass attempt. And the Charger defense stands tall and they get the football back. Allen now on first down. And nearly intercepted. That would have been a hat trick, his third pick of the game. Instead, second down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Hurry up, here we go.
On third down, Allen. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up fourth down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And now, goodness, possession's going to go over right at the 10-yard line. But a failure on fourth down on the other side leads immediately to a first and goal. Now Jones. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Ronald Jones with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Texans add on.
And now we've hit that stage of the game, partner, with one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time. He used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This is one of our guys.
But she's singing, too.
Oh, she's singing. She's
on, like, the 5th tune at this point.
She left Scales way behind, but he used to sing something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And last time, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. We'll see if they can pick themselves up off the mat and do better this go-around.
Sometimes I have this vision of coaches writing notes to themselves before a game, and sometimes that note says, be aggressive, stay aggressive. Maybe that's what we saw in the last possession.
Yeah, they were very aggressive. This time, will it result in points? We'll find out. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
They go back to Gordon here on first down. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away, and they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. And they'll go on the ground. Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. It'll be a gain of 2, and speaking of 2s, it'll take us to the 2-minute warning. And now before they run this 4th down play, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky.
One final try here for Allen, and it is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Texans take over an excellent field position. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And Watson's going to throw it here. He's going to rifle one deep left side. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Now a play fake, and it's Watson. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And this is caught. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, go ahead and throw the ball, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say, you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
Well, right now, maybe they're just looking at it from the fantasy perspective. More points for everyone if they win big.
So that one will be accepted. A terrible spot for a holding call as they'll try again, but now from further back on 1st and goal. After the penalty, it's Jones. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Starting to really smell a 4-0 start right now. Yeah, can't ask for a better first quarter of the season than that.
And you're not supposed to look ahead, but guess what?
You're going to?
They have to. Because when you get to if you get to 4-0, you're not just thinking playoffs now. You're thinking about, okay, this team has the capabilities of winning a Super Bowl. They could very well be the best team in the NFL at this moment.
I think they played the best. I mean, there have been a few hiccups offensively and defensively, but probably the best team we've seen, right?
And has the ability to get better.
On first down, Allen. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Now Allen. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness.
Well, an incomplete pass certainly doesn't look like a good play. For the guy throwing it today, as many interceptions he's thrown, he's got to feel a sigh of relief that the ball actually hit the ground.
Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack.
Well, certainly some teams are not intimidated by down and distance on defense, are they? Third and very long? Let's go get this guy again. Big-time pressure.
And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. Bennett bruising ahead. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. So out come the Chargers. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest,
don't forget today.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Jadeveon Clowney in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. And now the Texans want to call another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Now a 10th carry for Melvin Gordon. And not much there at all, as he'll get this only up to about the 11. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. To throw, it's Allen. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I know we can't do a mind meld and really know exactly what he was thinking, but I didn't see an open receiver there. Maybe, possibly, he did that on purpose and just overthrew him.
Yeah, coverage was good, so maybe indeed that was another way to throw it away, if you will. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Throwing now, Watson. Forced out to his left. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. And incomplete here, so a little razzle-dazzle on that one. But they couldn't hook up, and it's third down. Throwing on third down, Watson. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Desmond King picks it past the 10 to the 11-yard line, and that's where the return stops. Wow, between last week and this week, that's now 8 interceptions. 5 a week ago, now 3 here.
Well, he is so lucky that one of the defense coordinators I played for, a man named Ken Donahue, is not there right now. Because he saw that happen during his coaching career, and he grabbed the quarterback in the midst of a streak like this and said, tell you what, son, why don't you throw it to the defensive guys, and let's see if our receivers can intercept it.
Well, he's got to figure something out because the current formula is not working. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Texans, hey, they finished